everybody, it's me, Claudia, with another episode of Life's the Beash, episode 6. Yay! Today is Monday, April 11th, 2011, and Eddie is working on his painting. This is part of a art challenge that he has been assigned to by us, his art enthusiasts. um, as you can see, he's working on his butt very diligently, and we're happy that he's working on his butt because we're hoping that it'll find a home very soon.
His butt needs work.
His butt needs work. Today I wanted to talk about music, and as you can see, I'm wearing my Coachella gear because it's this weekend. Hello! I am so excited. I'm actually going, but I don't have passes. So if you have passes, if you have festival passes, please notify the lampshade as soon as possible. In my absence, I am hoping that my cousin or one of my other friends wears a lampshade because it will be year 4 as a lampshade. I originally went as a lampshade in 2007. It was that was the year I started the Lampshade Society. I started with a dear friend of mine by the name of Pelos. Well, that's not his name, but his nickname is Pelos. And we met in the world of entertainment and media.
When you started?
Why? Well, we were just goofing around at the hotel the night before the festival, and I stay at this inn off of Indio Boulevard in Indio, and it's kind of like my little Quentin Tarantino getaway. It's cheap and it's close to Coachella, and that's all that matters. So anyway, we were partying in the hotel room, and I just put on the hotel lampshade, and I started goofing around, and I told my friends, dare me to wear it to the festival. I did.
So you dared yourself.
I dared myself, and I did it for fun, but what ended up happening was I ended up getting media attention. Everybody started calling me the lampshade girl, and I was in the China Daily, and it became this big whoop. I became.
That's a powerful ass.
Yeah.
Watch
Is
out.
the ass taking over, Eddie?
Yeah. It's getting heavier.
Wow. Ooh, so you're working on the background now, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. He's working on the background behind the flames. We'll find out more about it later. I'm excited to hear about Eddie's wraparound in a minute.
So the media attention that you got, what did that lead to?
So the media attention that I got from the festival that first day, it was very motivating. I became an instant celebrity. Everybody wanted to take pictures of me or with me, or they wanted to take pictures of the lampshade. Men would come up to me and ask me if they could turn me on. And then that started leading into the bigger picture, which for me is really... Well, I like getting it on too, but for me, it gave me an idea. What if I wear it again? And what if it's more than just a symbol of somebody having a good time? What if it's a symbol of somebody, or what if it's a symbol of life being the illumination? As the person, as the being, as the creature, as the light. So then that got really popular.
I see that there's a hole in the sensor top.
Mm-hmm.
Did the sensor of your head by chance get sunburns or anything?
This is an actual lampshade. This is the one that I bought this. I did end up returning the lampshade from the hotel room, and because I'm no thief. So I ended up returning the lampshade, and it has this like perfect shape to it. I'm still looking for that perfect lampshade shape. I have a few here. These are the ones that I'm going to be working on in the next few weeks, in this next week for my friends and other people who are interested in wearing them and just continuing the tradition of the Lampshade Society. Um, so what happened was I bought this one in 2008, and I just wore it as is. I painted it in 2009, and that's when I had already started learning how to paint, thanks to Eddie and Ray and all of my friends that were part of the 2012 Art Collective. Dan and Oscar and Jaime, everybody, Greg, all of you guys helped contribute. And so what happened was I ended up making this lampshade, and it's the landscape of everything that I love about the scenery of Coachella, which for me is just the colors. I love how the mountains look lavender, and I love that there's palm trees everywhere. I love the white canopies. I love the grass. When I walk around Coachella, I take off my shoes and I run free. It's like I am at home. It's like a musical theme park for me. I love it, and it really is. It helps me. It helps me, and it makes me happy. So it illuminates me, and that goes back to the whole theme of life is illuminating, or the illumination of life, because I did watch the movie, by the way, and I loved it. I cried, and other than that, having the same name, the same idea of life is illuminating, that's pretty much the only thing that we have in common.
Have you worn it in other places other than Coachella?
I've
Like
worn it, yeah.
LA restaurants or something?
I've only worn it twice outside of Coachella. I wore it to the Mar Vista Farmers Market once, and I wore it. When I wore it, I met the mother of one of the art organizers for Manifest Equality in Hollywood, and she went up to me and she said, "We're having a free art show. You have to be there. And you have to wear your hat." So I did, and a lot of people liked it. I got a really good feedback, really good turnout. I try to like coordinate so that it matches a little bit. But it was really cool. I had a really good time, and it turned out that I knew a lot of the artists that were presenting there, so it worked out really well for me. I have the picture posted on the fan page. It's Lampshade Society at Facebook. So if you want to join, I have a little following. I was interviewed by comedian Steve Cooper on Cooper Talk recently, who is a big fan of the lampshade. Hello, Cooper. And what else? The lampshade. I mean, I am going to start making them for other people.
Do you have tiny lampshades for kids?
I can get tiny lampshades. Last year, I actually wore the exact same one as the one that I showed you a minute ago, and I painted a Cheshire Cat night sky with the moon and like googly eyes, and I painted the sun with a little like foam dome and a daytime scene. I painted the music notes, and I also painted the windmills in Palm Springs, and I painted the palm trees. So I'm trying to keep the theme going, and I'm trying to just motivate people to have a good time. It's a performance art piece, and that's pretty much it for the Lampshade Society.
Will you be recruiting any new lampshade members?
Yes, I have some fans that are interested in wearing it this year. One of them is Alfonso, who has been on the show. He's done the music segments. My cousin and his girlfriend are also interested in wearing them. And I have other fans. Carlos wants one. I'm going to make one for you, Carlitos. And
Do you think they'll buy you a pass for Coachella because they're a fan of the lampshades?
I'm not sure if they'll buy me a pass, but I am hoping that I get passes through the kindness of somebody's heart.
So what's so spectacular about this Coachella this year?
So the artists that are going to be at Coachella are They're always amazing. Golden Voice does an amazing job of putting together this lineup. Headlining are Duran Duran. These are my favorites, and you can judge me if you wish.
Okay.
But the headliners are Miss Lauryn Hill, Caifanes, Kanye West, Kings of Leon, Mumford and Sons, The Strokes. Oh my God, there's so many. It's not even funny. Arcade Fire. There's a few of them that are making huge comebacks at Coachella this year, which are Arcade Fire and Kings of Leon. They've played at smaller sets, and this time they're playing major. I, they're leading the pack. They went from like part of the group to leaders of the pack, and I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic. um, some of my favorites are Check Check Check. I saw them at Coachella. I think it was at the Gobi tent. And another thing that you guys should know about Coachella is they name all of their tents as after deserts. So there's the Mojave, the Gobi, and the Sahara. Sahara is kind of like the discotheque one. That's where I think the Chemical Brothers will be playing, and Paul Van Dyke. I've seen Daft Punk, Madonna, the Crystal Method, and I don't remember who else. A bunch of other ones.
So if you don't remember, that means it's a good time.
If I don't remember, that means, well, I've been to 8 Coachellas, so it's kind of hard. I'm getting old. I write them down. I do keep a journal of all of the people that I see, and I do try to take as many pictures as I can. Last year was the first time I took pictures with a film camera, and this year I would be shooting with film, and I would be shooting with my new phone, by the way.
She lost recently?
Yeah, my phone walked the plank not too long ago. It was a casualty of a sailing trip that I went on with my brother and one of his friends.
Can't see your face. There you go.
I was in a frenzy trying to get the sail down because we were coming into the Ventura Harbor, and of course, it popped out of my pocket and it jumped into the ocean.
So you were videotaping while sailing?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I wasn't. It was in my pocket.
Now back to Coachella.
Back to Coachella.
So Caifanes,
Mhm.
I heard, is making some big news. Why?
Yep. There are 3 big Latin acts at this year's Coachella. Well, 4 if you count CSS. They're from Brazil. Also seen them at Coachella, also making a comeback, and also fabulous. Los Bunkers are one of the Latin bands. Also Motley, one of Los Angeles' very own, coming up. I'm ecstatic for the guys. It's a huge show for them to do. I remember when I saw them back in like 1997, I think it was, when we were at Whittier Narrows Park, and I was trying to get my little Spanish rock on, and I wore all black, because everybody wore black back then, to this anti 4th of July or Cinco de Mayo festival, and all the usual LA suspects were there. Pastilla, Maria Fatal, and that was the first time I saw what's his name's band, Gio.
Viva Malpache.
That was the first time I saw Viva Malpache. They actually did a encore and played Pan con Mayonesa 5 times because that was their hit, and they didn't have that much material.
Right. So going back to Caifanes, so how would you describe them to somebody who's never heard of them? I can admit that I've never heard of them until recently.
Coachella has reunited a huge band from Mexico. They go by the name of Caifanes. It was started by Saúl Hernández and Sabo Romo, and was completed, I guess you can say, in '89 by Alejandro Markovich. Their influences are King Crimson and Astrid Haddad. They're named after a film. Gaifan is actually kind of like a zoot suit, cool dude slang lingo in reference. And my favorite album is El Diablito, which was produced by Oscar Lopez and supposedly influenced by Gustavo Santaolalla, who is also a major, major music producer. They're considered, I guess, new wave and progressive rock with like Latin beats. Um,
Why are they so big? Like, what makes them stand out from other Latin bands?
what made them huge was when they started in '87. There weren't really that many Spanish bands singing rock music. A lot of the Spanish bands were singing traditional, you know, folk and all that. And not that there's anything wrong with cumbia or ballads or Latin beats. There was definitely a void that needed to be filled, and there were very few artists that were catering to that. One of the early ones was El Tri, but this is kind of like a very harsh music. A lot of it is very like raunchy. And so there was definitely a void. There was a need for people to listen to something that they liked, like The Cure or
So how would you compare them to an English band that's big?
I would
Who would
compare
you
them to The
them
Cure.
Yeah?
Yes, because one of their songs is called "Mátenme porque me muero," kill me because I'm dying. I mean, does that sound like a Cure song to you?
Doesn't sound like a Cure to me.
No?
No.
It's not a Cure,
Oh.
but it does sound like a Cure song. So another major hit was La Negra Tomasa, and actually I have a set list because they performed at Vive Latino. The reason why they broke up was because of creative differences between the singer and the lead guitarist, Saul and Alejandro. So when they broke up in 1995, Saul left with most of the musicians, and a lot of incarnations of the bands. They created La Barranca, created other bands after like sub bands after Caifanes, but the major being Saul and the other guys starting Jaguares. I've seen Jaguares perform a few times. I haven't seen Caifanes, so if I were to go to Coachella, I would be able to see Caifanes. Have you seen Caifanes, Eddie? You're familiar with their music.
I'm familiar with the music. Fernando used to be their biggest fan,
Yeah.
and he's my best friend, and he would go see him all the time. And I may have gone to see him, but I wasn't there to see him. I was just there to hang out with friends.
Right.
But they were definitely like the shit. We used to cover one of their songs in
Which song?
La Negra Tomasa.
Oh, La Negra. That one's
Yeah.
a
What does that mean in
major.
English?
It's like the Black Cup, but it's basically in reference to like a woman, you know, like
A dark-skinned woman.
a dark-skinned woman that he was in love with,
Mhm.
and he's like, and it's
Estoy tan enamorado.
old
Like
song.
he's saying, yeah, it's an old song. He didn't. That's not their original. It's just he goes into detail about why he loves her and how he's suffering and aching because of that love.
Yeah.
Do you think that Caifanes being, booked onto Coachella is the reason it sold out so quickly, or one of the reasons?
There's two theories about the selling out of Coachella. Coachella sold out in 6 days, which is a record for the festival. I think it has something to do. Well, I think three. There's a few things that really I think made this epic. One of them is people think it was because of Caifanes. Everybody blames the Mexicans. From what I've heard from my cousins in Mexico, there is a lot more advertising going on in Mexico, and it's targeted to all the preppy, all the fresas, trying to get them all to come out here, trying to make it more like what's that festival in England? I forgot. One of those festivals.
Glastonbury.
Glastonbury. They're trying to, Golden Voice, and I don't know if it's Golden Voice or AEG, they're just trying to create this frenzy, and the frenzy, they're not just making it, it's not just here in the States. They are bringing people from all over the world to come to this music festival. I mean, I think it's cool. Last year, I remember.
That's good marketing, right?
Yeah, it's amazing marketing, sales and marketing. I'm sitting there and I can hear accents from all over the world. Just sitting there watching like one of my favorite bands. I mean, it's a cool experience if everybody is friendly and if everybody it doesn't just focus on themselves and trying to make this like ridiculous schedule of trying to get to this certain location to listen to this certain band. For me, Coachella is about the experience and about sharing that experience with others. That's, I mean, I kind of, that's kind of the way I live.
So the first reason you think it sold out is because of Guy Fawkes?
That's a theory. Some people blame it on the Mexicans.
What's your second theory?
I heard the other reason why Coachella sold out was because Harvard students made a proposition to Golden Voice and for a sales marketing, I think, like a test to see if they can get the word out and see if they can sell them out. Another reason why I think Coachella sold out was maybe the layaway plan. You can start paying for your Coachella tickets way early on and make $50 payments. This, unfortunately, I think is during December, which is a really, really tough time for people who have big families like me. And like trying to buy Christmas presents for 16 people. Yeah, that Coachella? Christmas. I'm sorry.
I would pick Coachella.
Christmas. Yeah, well, you're not going, so you didn't pick Coachella. And then the other theory is the sales and marketing that is worldwide, I think, definitely helped boost sales for this festival. But, they have an amazing lineup. Gogo Bordello, The Strokes, the Marley Brothers, Nas and Damien. Who else is going to be here? Interpol. I think it's huge that Lauryn Hill is going to play because she's been out of the spotlight for so long. Lauryn Hill is just, I'm a huge fan of the miseducation of Lauryn Hill. She's an amazing talent, an amazing voice, her rhyming skills, everything. And, I understand that she's a mom and I understand that it's not like it used to be, but we need you. We need Lauren.
For someone who's never been to Coachella, like how do you go about doing it? When you get there, will you run out in the grass, you start drinking, or what do you do?
Okay, I did write some tips. I didn't know this is complete Coachella show. Some of the tips for Coachella include, most importantly, two things, which is sunblock and water. You have to have them because the good thing is the festival isn't close to May anymore. It used to be closer to May at the end of April, and I think the hottest Coachella that I experienced was in 2006 when Radiohead performed. It went over 110 degrees in the desert, and I mean, people are on drugs. People are drinking, and people are not drinking water, and they're out in the sun. It was hell. I saw people like getting carried out all the time. I saw people go into convulsions. I saw people go into seizures. I saw people change color. I saw people's eyes dilated in like crazy shapes. It was crazy.
Did you hug them?
No, I ran. That shit was scary. It was not pretty. So sunblock and hydration. If you're gonna,
orange juice.
Yes, and I have a few rules. Definitely stay in the shade. Most important, have fun. I mean, there's a lot of activities there that you can partake in aside from going and trying to get into the mosh pit of whoever it is that you're a fanatic about. I mean, Pace yourself, pace yourself, pace yourself. You're not going to see everybody on the lineup. You're not going to see everybody on your personal list. And if you do, you're not going to be comfortable doing it. So you might as well save the time and energy and chill. Chill, chill, chill. Find a shade. I see people in the shade of like trash cans. You know, they'll pop a squat right next to one of those little trash cans just so that they can be in the shade. And you know what? In the long run, it pays off because you're saving your energy. Save your energy for the nighttime because the festival changes from day to night. During the daytime, it's kind of more, I would say, like flower power or
Hippies.
hippie, hipster hippie, which is a little different from hippie hippie. And then at nighttime, it's kind of like a big rave disco club. You know, one of my favorite things about Coachella is just walking around barefoot. I'm not afraid of stepping on a cigarette, but I think I have. And you know, as soon as you feel it, you jump up. It's not like you're burning your foot. You'll be fine. Another thing about what else? It's the most comfortable because I've tried wearing flip flops. I've tried wearing tennies. I've tried wearing different types of shoes, and the one thing that I never get tired of doing is just going barefoot because it's all grass. If you're 21 and over, I suggest the Heineken tent because there's a lot of fun things to do. They usually put on a really cool tent, and it's multiple tents. Sometimes there's a line to get in, but it's worth it because it's air conditioned inside. So you get your shade and you get air conditioned. And under those circumstances, it's okay to have a drink. Me personally, I don't start drinking alcohol until the nighttime just because it's too exhausting to do it in daytime. Daytime, save your energy, chillax. If you're gonna drink, do it in the shade. Go into the beer garden. You can wedge yourself into corners where you can see the bands on stage and have your drink at the same time.
Do people have sex at Coachella?
I haven't seen anybody have sex at Coachella. I wouldn't mind having sex at Coachella. I don't know.
So it's boring.
No, it's not boring at all.
Okay.
I mean, there's people running around in bikinis. It's great. I call them bunnies. All the girls that are like frolicking around and practically naked, they're bunnies. I would suggest walkie-talkies. Put the phones away. A lot of the reception is bad. So my suggestion would be go with walkie-talkies. You're using 2 AA batteries. You coordinate with your friends on a channel. Break in, break out. That's it.
All right, that's enough Coachella talk. What else is going on with you? I heard there's a baby in your life.
There is a baby in my life. Her name is Camila. Her middle name is Eva. And she's not even a week old. She was born on Thursday at 8:34 a.m. I'm her aunt and godmother. She's the first godchild to my parents. So it's a huge, huge deal. My baby sister, Carolina, is in good health. Her baby's in good health also. And they're both at home.
How is this baby having process? Were you there?
The birthing process was exciting. I was there for the whole thing. I actually cut the umbilical cord. I was exciting to bring somebody's, life. I mean, bring somebody into this world. It was, being part of that process was unbelievable. She's tiny. She's almost 7 pounds, 11 inches. She's an Aries. And we got to the hospital probably like around 2 or 3. My sister was induced with oxytocin, and she started having, more and more contractions. She was already dilating when she got to the hospital. To have a baby, you have to be 8 centimeters dilated, and so she didn't want to use the epidural, but at 2:30 in the morning, guess what? She was halfway through her dilation, and she said, I want the epidural. I asked her what her pain rate was from a scale of 1 to 10, and she said 6.
What's 10?
10 being like the most painful.
Oh, like you burn your hand on the stove?
Yeah,
That
Oh.
stings.
that's stinging. I think that's more like a.
So that's more painful than having a baby?
I think it's more like a.
No.
That's more like an 8. Well, no, I mean she was 6 centimeters dilated. She was like halfway dilated. She still had to go up to 10, and the nurse described the pain pretty well. And when my sister was actually dilated, I asked her if it's true, and she said yes. She said it feels like burning and pulling.
Wow.
Burning and pulling this way. So
How many days was she in the hospital?
I might end up looking for a surrogate if anybody's interested. What happened?
How many days was she in the hospital for?
She was admitted on Wednesday and she was out on Saturday.
3 days?
3 days. She got the epidural and the baby got taken care of. The epidural supposedly, I guess, only takes away 85% of the pain. So there's still a sensation. Yeah, better than nothing. And so I spent the night on the couch in the hospital, and so did the baby daddy. And
Boneless?
yep, phoneless. Like around, no, I still had my phone. I was sending updates. Oh, but I was sending updates from her phone. So what ended up happening was, like at 7 in the morning, I woke up to my sister screaming, and her little legs up on the stilt thingies in the labor room. I got up, cleaned myself up, and then went at it. Started helping her with her breathing patterns and calmed her down a little bit. My sister didn't eat because a lot of things come out when you're having babies, but she did puke. She puked 3 times, and I was like,
There you go.
it was like that. It was bad. I was kind of grossed out. I mean, between the smells, oh my God, the smell of blood, the smell of goo, and the smell, baby goo, it was bad.
So you
I was-
recorded the baby coming out, the whole goo?
I didn't take pictures. She wouldn't let me.
Good mom.
She wouldn't let me take any pictures of.
Paparazzi, bad.
Yeah, the paparazzi. So what happened was, yep, she started pushing, and the nurse asked me if I wanted to see the head while she was going into her contractions, and I took a couple breaths, and then I peeked, and she opened the vagina, and there was hair, not her hair, the baby hair.
Gooey
So
hair.
I sent out messages. I was posting my family, letting them know about the centimeters and letting them know that I saw the head and that she was going to be here any second. And sure enough, she came, she arrived healthy. She had the umbilical cord wrapped around her a little bit, but the doctor spun her around. She wasn't bloody. I thought they were bloody. She wasn't bloody, and but her little arms were a different color than her body, and I guess that was from probably the pressure traveling through the vagina. And the father had opportunity to cut the umbilical cord and turned it down because I guess he was getting a little woozy and he couldn't hang. So
You took that magical moment from him, huh?
no, they asked me, and I said yeah. And it took three snips. It was hard to cut, man. It is not like cutting ribbon, let me tell you. It was, I mean, Ugh.
The baby, do you think the baby felt that?
No, well, yeah, probably, but I was engaging her breathing. I was making her from fish to human.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think the baby's pain threshold was when you cut it 3 times? Dia?
I mean, I could have cut it on one stroke, but I didn't know it was going to be that hard. What was crazy is that, okay, they held the little like clips to create like a section for me to cut, but I didn't know why they were doing that. I thought that was just, to help me focus.
So like cutting ravioli or a noodle.
No, it had blood inside. You cut it and there was blood, and like, as soon as I started cutting, both the nurse and the doctor turned away because I guess it squirts. I was like, nasty. But I did it, and it was amazing. It was unbelievable. I can't even begin to describe. I mean, and she's adorable. She has this cute little this little cry, cute little laugh. She smiles, she giggles. She's a bundle of joy.
She's a human.
Yeah, and she's new, brand new.
Brand new little person.
Brand new little baby. Mhm.
So what else, Claudia? What else is going on in your life? How's the world?
What else has happened? Well, I was introduced to Mumford and Sons recently. One of my cousins is a big fan of theirs.
Who are they?
Andrea. Hello, Andrea. They're a band. They're like kind of like a bluegrass twangy band. They have a banjo and it's kind of folk. I love it. One of my favorite song right now is Little Lion Man. And I heard it on Star. I loved it. I was like, wow, I love folk because it's just comforting for me. It's just, you can feel the depth in folk music. I feel the depth anyway.
Makes me want to drink scotch.
Scotch or whiskey? I think definitely folk and whiskey definitely go together. But I am a big fan of country and twang and bluegrass, and so Mumford and Sons are definitely a band that I'm definitely looking out for. And yes, they are part of the Coachella lineup. Another thing that I just got this phone again, and I just started loading up all of my apps. One of my favorite apps right now is called the MP3 Music Download. Check it out. You can look for songs and you can look for artist titles. You can listen to them straight from the player, or you can download them for free.
Have you played Angry Babies?
Angry Babies? No, not yet.
It's like Angry Birds, but the babies destroy dirty diapers. No, I'm joking. There's no such
No,
thing.
I haven't played Angry Babies yet. Another thing that happened while my sister was waiting for her baby, my other sister was on a road trip to throughout
Ale.
Yes, Ale was on the road trip over covering the Northeast. She drove up from here up to Canada and stayed in Seattle. She did go to Forks, and she sent us this lovely postcard, and it says, "To Glau and Eddie. Well, we made it to Washington. It's amazing. It's nothing but green trees, grassy skies, and lots of rain. Hope to see you soon. Love, Alejandra. Wish you were here." And then it says, "Vampires love Forks." And then it has Climé and Delia's signatures because they were on the road trip with her. And she wrote, "Hi, I heart vampires." So it's really cute. They went to, all of the Twilight locations, and they know that we're fans of the vampires and the werewolves. So I really appreciate them sending that postcard. We were actually worried that she was going to miss the birth because she was on the road trip around the time that my sister was due. But she made it. Something else that happened. Oh, and thank you to Lito for letting me know about the app. If you guys have any apps that you want to suggest, please tell us either by chat or email us, lifesabeesh@hotmail.com. Lifesabeesh, Lifesabeash. Kind of like beach, but with an S.
Good job.
What else? Oh, if you guys have any shout outs, also please send them through. We love saying hi to the fans. Eddie, and I know that you're out there watching. Thank you so much for your support. What else? Oh, another thing about Coachella is the filter pre-party. Woo! See, if I don't go into the festival, I need at least let me go to the freaking party, you know?
Is it open bar?
Yeah, it's open everything.
Open food?
Last year they had snacks, they had alcohol, and it was at a really cool club, and they had what else did they have? They had free haircuts, and they had live art, so that's a good one. And they're gonna be doing a webcast. Sorry, I went back to Coachella mode.
Sorry.
Some of the fun stuff to do are obviously the bicycle rides and the Do Lab, which is celebrating its 7th year at Coachella. For me, it's just kind of like an oasis because they have misters, they have shade, and they put on this really cool water show.
Do they serve hush puppies?
Hush puppies. Yeah, you could probably get them at one of the diners in Palm Springs.
You know what they are?
Hush puppies, yeah. They're it's fried dough.
You get them at Long John Silver's. They're really good.
But also, I want to talk about Japan again because they just, Bloomberg.com just announced that they're on ultimate alert regarding this past earthquake that they had. And again, from the other earthquake and the tsunami. It's really, I'm really sad about it. I don't know what's gonna happen with sales. My brother works in the film industry, and their tape supply is actually like being counted right now because they get their tape supply from Japan. So if the factories close or they stop producing, then we might face something bigger than I think we imagined.
The debris from that is supposed to reach, supposedly, the West Coast by 2014. I was watching.
The debris is supposed to reach us by 2014. I mean, I can't even imagine. I did watch on the news that the princess of Japan, I guess, has been going to facilities and visiting some of the victims of the tragedy. My heart goes out to those people, and like I said before, the link for the relief fund is online. I just spoke to my brother's friend, and it turns out that their aunt was affected by the tsunami, no, by the earthquake. There is property damage, and I didn't get the details. Obviously it's a very sensitive subject. If you're gonna bring it up, be ready to do something about it. I actually addressed my family, and we're gonna try to raise some money, even if it's $100 amongst my money. If I know that it's gonna go straight into the hands of somebody that is affected by this, I mean, if it helps buy milk, then so be it. I would say definitely reach out to the people that are in need right now because we are fortunate. What else? You want to tell us about the painting?
Well, I'm in the flames right now. It's really tough. It's a lot of work. But I'm having a lot of fun.
Eddie has 4 more hours, 4 more shows to complete this amazing butt series. Do you have a name for it yet? No? If you guys have any ideas or suggestions for names, please let us know. We
I
want to
have
know.
ideas, but
Ashes
I
to
want to know what
ashes.
people like think
Yeah.
about it, though.
oh yeah, I want to hear what people think about it. Sure.
Hemorrhoid?
No, not
Hemorrhoids.
hemorrhoids. Not hemorrhoids.
That's on the wrong side, yeah.
Oh.
And
Crabs.
not a homosexual. That's definitely a female, just in case you were wondering. What else?
I just finished this one.
Oh! So,
That one's pretty cool.
this is the latest incarnation of the Butt Heart series. Cubism and all sorts of whatnots. I can't wait to see it final.
It was like a church window, like a painted glass from a...
Yep. It's definitely feels like glass, and it's like the cubism gives it a 3D effect. So it took him 2 days to make this. So
No, a week.
it took him a week, 1 week. Sorry, I thought you said you said a few days earlier, right?
Yeah, it was a few days to get most of it done, but I still got details. The detail that was taking a long time.
Yep. So I'm excited to see where that goes.
So when are we going to do cooking on your Beash, Claudia? There's a lot of people asking about cooking.
Cooking?
Cooking like brownies and sweets and stuff like that.
Okay, well, I didn't know we had so many sweet tooths. Definitely cooking. I'm actually gonna be taking and hosting a cake decorating class. So
Where?
at Michael's. So if you are interested in learning more about cake decorating, please let me know. I will be giving classes at Michael's in Santa Monica on 4th Street at the Promenade. Okay? And remember to visit the blog, livesofbeach.com, if you have any ideas, show ideas, or any questions.
When's the next time we'll see you?
We're going to be back on the air on Monday. Hopefully I will have a tan, and I will have the most current information from the festival itself. I'm going to try to webcast from the filter party, and if I sneak in, I'll give you all the juicy details. I want to send a shout out to my Coachella-ites, Carlos, Pelos, Christian. My new Coachella-ites are my new Coachellos are Raulito, and I'm excited to spend this weekend with Brian, my friend from the 909. Peace out. He's also a Coachella veteran, and we've both been at the festival, but we've never really hung out at the festival. We both met at the Los Abandoned shows back in the day, and unfortunately, I didn't get to be his prom queen, but I'm not sore about it. I'm just happy that he was prom king. Any questions, anybody? No? No? Okay, cool.
That's a wrap.
Is that an hour?
Yeah, time to go home.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. See you next week.